The devil is trying to get in between us and God's blessing. Even though God gave the order, if you remember the story of Daniel, where Daniel was praying and an angel came down and said, because you put your heart on this, God's grace is going to come upon your life. But even though that happened, the devil was trying to get it into Daniel's blessings. And that's what happens with us. The enemy, the devil, is trying for us not to get blessed by God. But we have to know that God comes on the exact moment. How many of you here know that? Yeah, I know it's an easy question. I thought it would be a question a little bit more difficult, but I know. All right, a little one of you are laughing. It's okay. I promise I won't do those kind of questions again. So God came upon your life on time. In that time, when God came upon, made that maybe people that are around you could be able to know God too. And as like they can be part of that promise, maybe not. It's not only about believing in the part of that word, but don't desperate yourself. Don't get down if maybe the person beside you is not coming here, is not going to a church. Maybe you say, oh, my husband doesn't want to come to the church with me. He's only sitting on the sofa the whole day. Don't get worried. He will be able to get to the Lord's presence. If you believe, if you stay in the right way, who knows? God's the God of impossibles. Maybe he won't get bald in his hair. He's going to have hair again. All right, a lot of people laughing here. Maybe he has long hair like Samson. But be careful about that. You know what Samson was doing? Better be bald and stay with you. But I'm thinking about this. I think that's our bald men that it's okay when they're bald. Maybe if I get bald, I won't be good looking. And when I see a bald man, I say, wow, it looks good. I don't think I would look like that. Well, first of all, Claudia here is laughing a lot. Somebody here can take care of that. All right, so our faith has to be going with our hope. Well, today I'm going to read a story that is in Mark chapter 2. We find the story of these friends that take this paralyzed man. And it says in Mark chapter 2. A few days later, when Jesus again entered Capernaum, The people heard that he had come home. They gathered in such large numbers that there was no room left, not even outside the door. And he preached the word to them. Some men came, bringing to him a paralyzed man, carried by 4 of them. Since they could not get into Jesus because of the crowd, they made an opening in the roof above Jesus by digging through, and it then lowered the mat, and the man was lying on. When Jesus saw their faith, he said to the paralyzed man, "Son, your sins are forgiven." Now some teachers of the law were sitting there, talking to themselves, "Why does this fellow talk like that? He's blaspheming. Who can forgive sins but God alone?" Immediately, Jesus knew in his spirit that this was what they were thinking in their hearts. And he said to them, "Why are you thinking these things? Which is easier to say to the paralyzed man, 'Your sins are forgiven,' or say, 'Get up, take your mat, and walk'? But I want you to know that the Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sin." So he said to the man, "I will tell you, get up, take your mat, and go home." Okay. Seeing the story, seeing how the friends of this person, this paralyzed man, they were full of hope. It seems like when Jesus was there, he was preaching the word, there was a lot of people. There was no room left. I imagine dad and mom having kids on their shoulders, everyone trying to look upon the window, upon a door. Then I imagine these 4 friends getting in, and they bring this paralyzed man, person that couldn't move. The Bible doesn't say exactly why he was paralyzed, but we can imagine it. Maybe he was paralyzed since he was born. Maybe the whole life he always depended on someone else. Maybe he couldn't walk, he couldn't run, so he would never be able to run in a career. Maybe he never played a sport. Maybe he could never even clean his own house. Maybe his friends never wanted to be like him because of this. Or maybe he had an accident. Maybe he was the fastest one in the neighborhood, or the stronger one, or the Messi. And then a car came by, and 6 horses on him, and he got paralyzed. So then, upon that time, all of what he was, all of what he has, got into nothing. We can only imagine it, because the Bible only says that he was paralyzed now. And that's where we get into the story. All of us have in the people near to us, have somebody that is suffering, is going through a bad situation. Or maybe it's happening to you in your own house. Maybe your parents need a miracle. That you have your heart broken in 4,000 pieces, and you need a miracle. Like this man, you're paralyzed. You can't keep moving on. You're not able to move on. Maybe because that's happening in your life. Maybe you don't even remember when it started. All you know now is you need a miracle now. For you, for your people, or maybe your friend. Sometimes I have conversations with brothers in faith, and they said, when I'm preaching, I'm not trying to invade a lot. I just throw a couple words and I'm trying to be a little bit light on the words so the people don't lose. But what I say is, your message has to be clear. All of what we want is that our people, our friends, know what we know about God. Maybe there's somebody that you're tired of preaching, tired of saying always the same things. And you say, well, God, I leave it on your hands. But don't forget that he needs salvation, just like you do. He can feel strong, weak, but what he does, he needs to be saved. How many of you have a friend like that? Or a family like that? It seems that this paralyzed man has had good friends. Those friends had him present in their heart. All of what they wanted was for him to be saved. So this paralyzed man, even though he was living like this, he had good friends. But not only he had good friends, his friends were full of faith. So think about that. The people that are surrounding you are people of faith. So then you have to start thinking about your heart, thinking about your own self. How are you as a friend? What type of faith do you have? The faith that those friends had were able to make them do crazy things. Imagine here, I don't know, Marta's sitting right here. While you're sitting right here, you're the first person I see. Well, imagine Marta or Claudia. Imagine Claudia. We're going to carry Claudia because she's paralyzed. She needs to be saved. We need a miracle from part of God. So we start to see the girls here that they're dancing. It says that there were 4 people carrying that person. Imagine here Claudia being carried by 4 persons. They come here, the church is full, there's no place left for them. And then the friend says, okay, we tried to do it, we came here, we carried you. How many miles, I don't know. Let's go home. And we couldn't be able to see the message, to see Jesus. But no, they not only had faith, they had action. It says that they did something that nobody would do. It says that they
En contra de todas esas cosas estaríamos pensando, Claudia bajando imagínese la escena.
Imagine the situation.
Claudia bajando de una soga, Marta y la chica así tirándolo de arriba.
They dig throughout the roof
Cuidado,
and
está la
open
chica de
it.
danza.
Imagine they doing this right here.
Sabe que cuando Jesús vio la fe que ellos tenían,
When Jesus saw that faith,
decidió prestar atención. Cuando nosotros queremos
he
convencer a
started to
Dios
pay
de que haga
attention.
algo en nuestra vida, tenemos que mostrar nuestra fe y hacer algo para llamar la atención.
When we need God's attention, we have to do something
Con creer, sino
to get his
con no
attention.
darse por vencidos.
It's not only
Tu
believing.
adversario, tu enemigo, intentará de que tu familia
The enemy is going to
se
try
pierda, que no le sigas llevando el
to
mensaje,
turn you
de que
down.
tu problema
He's going to try that your
el
message
resto de tu historia y de
doesn't
tu
get to
vida.
your
El diablo
house, to your
intentará
home.
ponerte obstáculos para que no llegues a la presencia de Dios.
The enemy is going to put
Para que te
obstacles
detengas, para que
for you to stop,
desistas, para que te desanimes.
not keep going,
Por eso es importante la fe,
to discourage
la
yourself.
fe de acción.
That's why the faith of action is important.
No te canses.
Don't
de
get
llevar el
tired
mensaje.
of
No
giving
te
this
canses de
message.
intentarlo.
Don't get tired
No te
of
canses
trying
por
it.
ningún medio. No desistas.
Don't get
Que la
tired
cosa
of,
se ponga difícil y dura.
even though it
Quiero que
may be
mires atrás
difficult.
y mires cuán difícil te pudo haber
I
parecido
want you to look in the
de que
past.
hoy puedas estar en la presencia de Dios.
How difficult was it for you to be in God's
Contaban
presence?
testimonios nuestros hermanos.
Today we heard a lot of
Decía,
testimonies.
imposible, yo era una persona adicta,
And the
estaba
man said,
perdida, pero de repente
I was lost in
hoy
drugs.
estábamos hablando mientras estaba
I was
hablando
an
con las
addict, man.
ofrendas y no podía creer cómo decía, yo me levanto con Dios, me acuesto con Dios.
And he
Siento que
says,
Dios
I
está.
wake up with God, I go to
Nadie
sleep with
podía
God.
pensar. O
Nobody
mejor
could
dicho,
think about
quizás
that.
unos meses atrás, nadie podía hacer parecer de que eso hubiese ocurrido,
Or
hubiese
maybe
pasado.
a couple months ago,
Sin embargo, ocurrió.
you were thinking that there was something that wasn't going to happen,
La fe tiene que ir
but it
acompañada
happened.
de la acción.
Because the faith has to
Y
be
esa acción tiene que hacer
with
llamar la
action.
atención de Dios.
And that
¿Qué
action
estás
has
haciendo
to
para llamar su atención?
surprise
Soy de aquellos que
our
podía
Lord.
haber desistido. Estoy clamando para que Dios haga un milagro en mi matrimonio, pero como Dios
So
no lo hace.
I'm praying for God to
Estoy
bring a
clamando para que
miracle in my
Dios haga un
marriage.
milagro en mi corazón, en mi cuerpo.
But how he doesn't do
Pero
it,
como los estudios
well,
me siguen
I
dando
won't
mal,
keep
bueno,
praying.
listo, renuncio.
I'm praying for my health
Pobres, tenían obstáculos, estaba
to be
lleno
healed.
ese lugar. Pero
But
decidieron
since
hacer
the
algo
doctor says
diferente.
that they won't be able
La
to,
fe te hace hacer cosas
I stop praying.
diferentes.
No,
La fe de acción hace
you
que
have to
los
have a
ojos del
different type of
Creador se
faith.
depositen sobre ti diciendo, ¿qué está haciendo?
People have to
Mírenlo,
see you and say, what is he doing? What is this crazy man doing? What is this crazy woman doing?
Está haciendo algo que yo no puedo mirar para otro lado. Tengo que clavar los ojos sobre él.
You have to get Jesus' attention. Jesus has to say, what is he doing? I can't look at everything. I have to look at that. They're bringing down a person from the roof.
¿Cómo puede ser posible?
How can this be possible?
¿Qué estás haciendo para que Dios haga ese milagro?
So what are you doing
¿Cómo
to
estás
get God's
mostrando tu
attention?
fe? Pablo decía, mira, la fe sin obras es
What are
muerta.
you doing
Todos conocemos eso.
to get that miracle?
Y bueno, decimos, sí, yo tengo fe, y parece que simplemente el declarar
Maybe I can say,
la acción de
well,
demostrar
yes,
de que
I have faith.
tenemos fe. Y decimos, vamos a ser sanos, vamos a
And
ser
I say,
restaurados.
yes, I'm going to
Dios
get
va a tocar mi
healed.
hogar, va a tocar mi familia, pero simplemente son palabras que
My
estás
house is
haciendo
going to be good.
para llamar la atención
My
de
home
Dios.
is going to be restored. But what are you doing
¿Qué
to
estás
get
haciendo
God's
para que Él
attention?
decida mirarte?
What are you doing
¿Qué
for
estás
God to
haciendo
look at
para
you?
que como en un momento como Daniel, Dios decida dar la orden
What are you
de
doing
que se arme una batalla en los cielos?
so that there could be a moment
Los ángeles
like
del
in
Señor,
Daniel's story
principado y potestad de
where
las
there was a
tinieblas,
battle
porque Dios
in the
determinó
heavens because
que
God
esa bendición tenía que venir
determined
sobre vos sí o sí.
that the blessing had to come to Daniel's life.
A veces no entendemos el valor de las cosas. Mire,
Sometimes we don't understand the value of the things.
es importante y tiene un valor tan grande
It's
la fe con
important,
acción.
the faith in action.
Pero al parecer, en este mundo las cosas han cambiado.
But as we see in this
Simplemente
world,
estamos esperando
things
que
have
Dios de
changed.
los cielos haga todo porque sí, porque simplemente
Maybe
está
we're
hecho
just
la
waiting
promesa.
for God to do everything for us because that's a promise.
Y no valoramos realmente el poder
And we're not
que
able
Dios
to
nos ha
be
entregado
to worth the
a
power
través de eso.
of God gave to us through our prayers.
La invitación para nosotros en esta noche es que
The invitation for
hagas
us
algo que llame la atención de tu Creador.
today is that you can do something to get God's
¿Cuántos necesitan un
attention.
milagro de Dios? A ver, levanten la mano.
How many of you need a miracle here?
Hace algo que llame su atención.
Do something to get His attention.
Hace algo que decida mirarte.
Do something so
Quizá
Jesus
ante toda
has
probabilidad,
to
si
look
bueno,
at
yo
you.
estoy acá y quizá nadie cuente con que vos estés.
Maybe you're
Y hacer
here.
algo aunque nadie piense que eres capaz de hacerlo.
You have to do something
Voy a
so that
seguir
God can
adelante
see you.
aunque tus fuerzas o tu realidad o tu historia de vida diga que tenés que detenerte o
Maybe your
que
life
no vas a
story
poder lograrlo.
is telling you that you have to stop,
Hacer algo que llame la
that you
atención
won't
de
be
Dios, que
able
Dios diga cómo puede
to
ser
go throughout
posible,
this.
que le diga a los ángeles, usted está viendo lo que este loco está haciendo, lo que esta loca está haciendo.
Do something so that God can
Hacer que alguien baje
look
del
at the
techo,
angels and says, look at what this crazy man is doing.
sin importar los
You have to
impedimentos
break
que
the roof
tengan
today.
o los obstáculos que te pongan por delante. Jesús perdonó los pecados de ese joven.
Jesus,
Jesús sanó al paralítico. En fin,
forgive those
el
sins.
milagro que él
Jesus
necesitaba
healed
ocurrió.
that paralyzed man.
No solamente dice que Jesús vio la fe que ellos tenían.
And it not only says that
Fíjese
Jesus
una
saw
cosa,
the faith that the friends
había
had.
muchas personas en ese lugar.
Bible says that,
Habían muchos de tal
that there
manera
was
que
a
no
lot of
entraban
people.
en la casa. Sin embargo, en aquella noche tremenda y maravillosa,
But in that night,
el único milagro que se menciona
the only
como
miracle
relevante e importante
that we can
fueron
see
aquellos que decidieron llamar la atención de Jesús. Y decidieron
is
hacer
those
cosas que alguien nunca
who
se
could be able
animaría a
to
hacer.
get God's attention
Pagar costos o precios que otros
and decided to do something
no harían.
that was
Aquí
crazy.
pueden haber muchas personas hoy.
Maybe
Quizás
there's
nos
a lot of
estén
people here.
escuchando otras tantas de muchas personas.
Maybe there's a lot of people hearing this
Quizá
message.
en esta noche puedan recibir ese milagro.
Maybe
Solo
you
aquellos
can
que
have
se
that
decidan
miracle
a que
today.
Dios pueda mirarlos.
Only
Hacer algo
those
que
who are
salga de la regla,
able to get God's attention.
que supere las expectativas del Creador. Mirá que Él es Creador, pero dice que Jesús, al mirar lo que estos tipos hacían, no le
It
quedó
says
otra
that
cosa que dirigir la mirada
Jesus
hacia el techo
couldn't stop
que estaba bajando.
seeing these
Alguien en su
people
lecho.
because they got his attention.
Había mucha gente,
Even
pero los
though
ojos de
there
Jesús
was
se
a lot of people,
determinaron y clavaron en aquel
even though the
paralítico
rooms were full.
y en aquellos muchachos que estaban haciéndolo.
It says that Jesus started to see
Depende de
them.
vos hoy. ¿Cuántos dicen amén?
It depends on
Depende
you.
de que hoy decidas llamar la atención de Jesús.
It depends on you getting God's attention.
Hace algo que otros no se animen a hacer.
Do something
Yo sé que necesitas ese milagro
that
tanto
somebody
quizá
else wouldn't do.
como ese paralítico.
I know you need that
Ese
miracle.
milagro que quizá ni siquiera es para vos, es para un ser amado, un ser querido.
Maybe that miracle isn't even for you. Maybe it's for a person in your family, for a friend.
¿Cuántos dicen amén?
But do it. Do it with that faith of action.
De eso se trata.
This is what I'm talking about.
De eso se trata. De hacer algo que nadie se animó a hacer.
Do something that somebody else doesn't do.
Y no te sorprendas
And don't get surprised
que el próximo sábado o el próximo servicio
if next
haya un
service
testimonio de lo maravilloso
we
y
have
poderoso que ha
testimony
sido
of
Dios
how
por ellos.
God's power is moving.
Dale, todavía estás a tiempo, ponete de pie.
You're on time. Get on your feet.
No te desanimes porque todavía no pasó.
Don't be discouraged
No te desanimes porque
because it
quizás haya
hasn't
muchos antes que vos. No,
passed now. Don't discourage yourself
hace que los
because
ojos
the
del
miracle
Creador te vean.
didn't come.
Hace que se posen sobre vos.
Make Jesus'
No
eyes
sé qué podés
look at you.
enfrentar. No sé qué podés hacer.
Get God's attention. I don't know what you can do.
No le prometas cosas que no vas a cumplir.
Don't promise things that you won't be able to
Acciona.
do. Just action.
Mostrale. Mejor son tus hechos que tus palabras.
Better are the things that you
Mejor
do
van a ser
than
tus
your words.
acciones que hoy puedas estar declarando, porque declarar puede declarar cualquiera.
Better are your actions than
Pero
something
que
that you
eso
can
haga
say
mover la mano de
you're
Dios es
going to do and
totalmente
don't do.
diferente. La mano de Dios se movió cuando vio fe en acción. acción,
it says that God's hands moved
cuando no eran solamente palabras,
when he
sino
saw
los
faith
hechos
in
que estaban
action.
ocurriendo ahí, porque era imposible llegar a Jesús. Pero
It was
ellos
impossible to get to
lo
Jesus,
intentaron,
but they tried it.
no se desanimaron, no
They
se
didn't
desalentaron.
discourage. They tried to get to
De eso
Jesus,
se trata.
and they got the miracle.
Aquí estamos aquellos que necesitamos un milagro.
And that's what it's about.